Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Well, guys, I had a big time chuckle this morning. The article that I was reading, this is coming from Elon Musk. And guys, he threw this tweet out there. And in the tweet, all he had was, INXS, in excess. And a lot of folks just ran with it. In fact, there's articles out there right now. People wrote absolute full page articles on him putting out this 4-letter tweet. And in there, they're saying, oh my goodness, Elon Musk supports XRP because don't you know he put an X in there? But then the Shibarium crowd comes out and they say, oh no, he was really talking about SHIB because there's an S in there and all this kind of stuff. And boy, I'm telling you, do you ever have to read between the lines to kind of dig that kind of information out? And guys, it reminds me of something way up there in Canada that way back in the Western days. What would happen when the indigenous people would go out to hunt? Rather than expend all kinds of energy and stuff like that, what they would do is they would literally chase, all of the herd of buffalo all the way to this place. And the place was called Head Smashed In Buffalo Jump. And the reason it was called that is because they would just drive the herd and the herd would just run like crazy, following one another, and eventually they'd get to this cliff and they would just run over the cliff, and of course they'd fall down, their heads would get smashed in, and that's why it was called Head Smashed In Buffalo Jump. But one just went and followed the other right over the cliff. Guys, don't let yourself become part of the herd, because that is exactly what's going on. Now, I know that most of the people in this community are big time thinkers. I see it in the comments, and boy, I'll tell you how grateful I am that you really are. And that's why on this channel anyway, we're encouraging you to go out there and use your critical thinking and really start to hone those skills about, hey, what is your opinion about it and why do you hold it? Now, that's called apologetics in the theological world, because they're asking you, what do you believe? But they're more so, why do you believe it? Now, guys, in this space about XRP, you literally have people every single day, they're just bemoaning, the price of XRP and all this and that, and oh, how it's down, and it could go down further, and da-da-da-da-da, and they're literally, practically in tears over it. And whenever I see that, I'm totally mesmerized, because I'm thinking, have they not looked at the fundamentals of where this is going in the wide world? And why is their focus? Why would they be so down? You know what? We should literally be rejoicing that we could pick these assets up at the prices that we're getting them now. And if it did drop down further, I'll tell you what, Judy and I would be backing up the truck like no tomorrow. Now, that's not financial advice, but that's exactly what we're going to be doing, because I believe in what I know about it, the fundamentals. And this is why, we don't follow the crowd with every emotional little, thing that comes along and just woo and off and on like that. You gotta really think about that inside yourself. Like, are you letting your emotions drive your decision making? And it happens in a lot of things in life, doesn't it? Sometimes I even catch myself, reacting emotionally to certain things. But then after I step back from it, I take that time to really digest what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling that way, why I'm thinking that way. What is the reaction? And you start to get more clear-headed about it, and the decisions you start to make become more based on fundamentals rather than like the crowd does with all of this emotions. And if there was ever a space that reacted to sentiment on a big time scale, it has got to be this digital asset space. You just look at that fear and greed index. I mean, you have got people in absolute terror when you're talking about, what the price might be and this and that. And yet we are literally day by day getting more and more and more solid indicators that this, digital economy and this digital asset space is literally being adopted in the wide world. Now, how can we say that with confidence? Well, guys, you got folks like Larry Fink. Look at that clip we played the other day, literally coming out and telling, the wide world, this digital asset space is going to represent a safe haven, and literally, tying it to, traditional safe havens like gold and other commodities, that in a financial crisis, you'll watch this space will represent quality assets for people to put their dollars in, because money doesn't stay stagnant, doesn't it? Absolutely moves, and in fact it goes to where it's going to be the safest and produce the most return depending on the environment. And what is the environment of the wide world right now? Well, of course, we're literally living in probably one of the most chaotic times in history, and in fact I look at it as practically biblical prophecy. But needless to say, in those situations, do you want to be following your feelings, or do you want to be following the facts? Well, of course, we want to be following the facts. Guys, it's almost laughable to see what can move the pendulum in this space. And there a guy, Elon Musk puts down 4 letters in excess. Now, maybe he's talking about how, what's going on in the wide world is excessive or whatever. Maybe he's talking about that rock band way back when, in excess. Maybe he just likes to put those numbers and letters together because, hey, I think he even called one of his kids X or so. I don't know. But needless to say, that kind of stuff, 4 little letters, can literally cause people to write pages and pages and pages of articles about it. And that tells you just how triggered people really can be. Oh, boy, I'll tell you what. Guys, I really want to tell you something right now. You have so much value and worth that most of us don't even see it or realize it. Look, what's going on in the day-to-day? It's going to come and it's going to go. And look, don't spend a whole lot of time worrying about tomorrow, right? Because who can literally, what the scripture literally says this. It says, can you add 1 hour to your life by worrying, or can you grow a little bit taller by worrying? Of course we can't. We know that. In fact, we're probably taking more time out of our life by worrying than we are adding to it, for sure, right? This is where you build up your confidence. It's in times like these that you literally get to see the opportunities of a lifetime. And why is that? Because, hey, millionaires are made down here at the bottom, right? They're not made up here at the top. This is where it starts. It starts when things are at their absolute worst, or what most people would consider, and then you're out there and you're seeking, and you see some opportunity and you take it. And then what you do, you just get steeled in your position, you get confident, you get peace down on the inside, and having done everything to stand, you stand firm. And then what happens? Well, one day the tide starts to shift, doesn't it? And then boom, we're back up here. Like for every bull run, there is bull market. There's been a bear market. Now for every bear market, there's a bull market. And you literally just steal your position, and you wait until you see it up there, and you be strategic about it. And when it gets there, I'm telling you what, life changes, and it changes in a big way. And I sure hope, guys, that you're more than able, and I know you are, you're more than able to read between the lines and see all the nonsense that's going on, and still be able to be steeled in your position and built up in your confidence, and literally prepared for what's coming down the road. Be at peace. Literally don't let yourself get all shaken about because of everything that's going on. And that's where you step out of the narrative, you step out of all of that, and you're at absolute rest. And the whole wide world can be going through a massive storm, but you're gonna stay at peace. Why? Because your hope and your confidence isn't based on the circumstances of just what's going on right there and then, right? You're looking down the road, and you have confidence in the facts. It's not about the feelings. Well, guys, I sure hope that you're going to have an amazing, amazing day. It started off being a really great one out here, and I trust that you're going to have a fabulous one yourself wherever you are in the wide world. And until then, have a great one and take care.